It's the Extremist movie debate, and tonight we're talking 2018's Hereditary.
Do that as a podcast. It's the Toby Jones.
I'm sorry, I meant Hereditary. Huh? We're
doing Hereditary.
Hereditary.
I'm Joe.
I'm Ethan. One of us is going to love it. One of us is going to hate it.
Let the coin just have their fate.
I love it.
I hate it. Oh,
go on.
Hey guys, don't spend like 3 generations trying to resurrect a demon into the body of your child.
I don't think he's a demon.
There are spoilers ahead.
He was a king of hell.
Yeah, it's a deity.
Get it
idiot. Right. This movie currently holds a 90% on Rotten.
98?
No, a 90% on RottenTomatoes.com.
That sounds more right.
90% on RottenTomatoes.com. Joe, since you hate this movie, this first question comes to you.
Much.
This first question comes from a boy, Rohan Nahar of the Hindustan Times.
You used that guy on me last time. Are you going to talk about Hancock again?
Yes. So Rohan says, there is no scenario that ends with you having a pleasant experience watching this film. There is a malevolence about it, an unspeakable evilness that penetrates your psyche drop by painful drop. Outside of his use of the word penetrate, I
like this guy.
Yeah, I like Rohan Nahar from the Hindustan.
Spit it out, Jeff.
So what do you think this movie effectively did to work as a horror movie, especially when he is talking about the psychology of it? What psychologically do you think this movie did well or didn't do well? It's your opinion, and that's the way opinions work. You have 1 minute.
Well, this movie was bad because
that wasn't the question.
Because no, it fails on all of them because all this movie is it's a carbon copy of Rosemary's Baby and The Shining and House of the Devil, and that movie's not even old. It's essentially another hodgepodge job where it just takes better movies and puts into their new movie, but since it's A24, it's got to be paced so fucking slowly that I feel like I'm dying in the theater. So it's just a very slow-moving, boring movie where nothing ultimately happens at the end that we didn't already see coming. And as far as not enjoying this movie, I enjoyed the hell out of this movie because there's a demon killer in it. In the first 25 minutes, a kid kills Satan. And what? You have to find enjoyment out of somebody killing Satan. So I really enjoyed and loved that aspect of the movie.
Oh my God, Ethan.
That's for people who have already seen the movie.
No.
I saw this movie and I don't even know what you're talking about. When she cuts the head off the bird?
That just means that you did not pay attention to the movie.
Shut the fuck up. Ethan, you have 30 seconds to respond.
I mean, I was more fascinated in, if he's one of the 8 kings of hell, but Satan is the prince of darkness, what's the royal hierarchy in hell, which is fascinating to me, and I love that about this movie. So please explain this theory to me, because I'm into it, just like I'm into the rest of this movie. Yeah, it's a lot like Rosemary's Baby, but Rosemary's Baby is also a lot about the patriarchy and women having 0 roles in their own lives in that time period. And so this movie is also about overcoming grief and how grief can break up a family.
I gotta cut you off there, Ethan. I'm sorry. But this next question is for you. I'm doing a short one.
Oh, cool.
Since it's old. This that was definitely Mike.
Is there a lizard in here?
This is from Rex Reed, the famous Rex Reed of the New York Observer, who, anyone who doesn't know him, please go read his review of Cabin in the Woods.
Okay.
Rex Reed says...
Is he the one that said that, I want a sequel?
No, he was the one who said it's a video game and that there's vampires flying through the night.
True.
Rex Reed says, as alleged, quote-unquote, horror films go, this one is about as scary as the Bowery Boys in Spooks Run Wild. I don't know what any of that means.
Nope.
I don't like that he says spooks. My question to you is, what is your favorite horror film and how would it compare to Hereditary? You have 1 minute.
I mean, I'm tempted to say The Witch just because we're talking about A24, but really, if I'm being honest with myself, it's probably The Mist. And it's because of the same reasons that I like this movie so much, and it's because there's this terrible force that is doing awful things to the people, but really when it comes down to it, the horror of the movie is about the people. And this movie, yeah, they're being led by demons. There's terrible resurrections of demon kings happening, but really it's about grief breaking the fuck apart a family and the unspoken things that a family will hold for generations and never talk about that also breaks them apart inside and outside. And that is as unsettling to me as resurrecting a demon king, which I love. And, you know, in The Mist, it's the same idea. It's everybody inside without all their resources will tear each other apart worse than the monsters on the outside. So, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I like The Mist. Joe, you have 30 seconds to respond.
My favorite horror movie is Jeepers Creepers 2, because I like school buses. And I like villains who are actually real and can actually, like, move things. Nobody moves anything in this movie except for stupid little spirits, and they're not even there so you can't see them. What's scary about a glass moving around a goddamn table? Nothing. This movie's stupid because there's nothing tangible to hold on to. The horror involved is just a bunch of sad people. Fucking get over it. Everybody's sad. Pain is relative, you dipshits. God damn!
Because I like school buses.
What's scary about a glass moving? Oh my god. This is my favorite episode ever, everyone. I love you guys. You have almost 30 seconds. You guys have 2 minutes to debate.
All right, so how does she kill Satan?
Okay, Ethan, if I have to explain this movie that you love so goddamn much.
Well, again, I'm saying I love the family aspect of this movie, not so much the supernatural.
Now, Wolf's kid brother kills Satan when he lops off his sister's head. I don't know how I had to explain that to you since you loved this movie so much. She was Satan. She was Satan the entire time.
No,
she wasn't.
Yes, she was. Rewatch the movies, you morons.
Oh, okay, so she was Satan, movies. And they were just... Well, then why were they waiting to get Satan into a male host until she was dead?
Because Charlie was a female host.
Well, I get that,
Satan
but then why wait?
Male host.
Oh, yeah, they did explain that.
They explained all of it.
I know that Satan needed a male host.
Sleepy time Wolfcott over here fell asleep for the last 30 minutes.
But did the girl need to die before he could take on another body? Is that what?
I don't think so.
Of course that's what it was.
Because, like, I don't understand why they didn't just take over Naked Brothers Band Kid.
Naked's Brothers Band?
That's a Nickelodeon reference.
I don't understand what you just said.
Yeah, that's fine.
And on top of that,
Death Note's brother.
The functionality of this movie. So when she when she tries to burn the journal, her sleeve catches fire.
Yeah.
So why the fuck does Satan from Days End of Days, whatever the hell his name is, Peter Gabriel? That's not his name either. Why does he get burned up when she throws the journal in? He has no emotional.
Dude, I'm not one to question the ways of Satan.
That's a functionality of the movie that doesn't make any sense.
No, it's something that's set up as a supernatural thing that is done by Satan.
It's not set up.
So isn't it so much scarier that all of a sudden Satan is like, I'm going to set up this rule and you're going to think it's going to work and you're going to destroy everything by sacrificing yourself, but instead, psych, I'm going to make your life worse by killing your husband because I'm Satan.
I'm going to set up this rule and it's not going to make any sense, so why didn't I just possess whoever I wanted since nothing matters? That's what that scene says, is that Satan. Nothing matters in this movie. Nothing matters in this movie because they're breaking the functionality of the supernatural qualities that they've set up themselves.
I think that this movie actually excels really well at following logic.
It doesn't because of the journal. Explain the journal to me and then maybe I'll agree with you.
I think it's great that this movie can follow logic up until this point where it's an hour and a half into the movie, then all of a sudden it throws you a zinger.
This movie can follow logic until it doesn't, and then nothing matters.
No, that's why it's spooky.
A+. I loved this movie.
Because all of a sudden it's like,
spooky.
Nothing.
Magic.
Everything's off.
You are using your logic of why you hate Harry Potter to defend this movie.
God, I really do.
Oh, whoa! You first of all, that's your guys' time. I gave you guys 30 extra seconds. So I was enjoying literally all of this that's happening. I've never been happier. Second, you hate Harry Potter?
I don't hate Harry Potter. I just don't like Harry Potter.
Ethan doesn't like Harry Potter because he thinks that they can just make up magic to fix whatever problem presents itself.
And that's
which is exactly what he's saying. Which is exactly what he's saying to defend this movie.
All right, Joe, I'm going to say right now, you don't need to yell at me about this.
Harry Potter.
I'm yelling at the audience.
Creates
not
a
you,
premise
Jeff.
where they can create a ludicrous thing for the characters to get stuck in, and then another ludicrous way for them to just come up with a spell and get themselves out of it. And that's every Harry Potter.
So
it's really dull.
So just substitute Hereditary and Satan.
Emily,
all those
close
words.
your ears.
I
That's
want
exactly what you got.
hard magic. I want rules, and I want to know all the limitations.
I want
and what
hard
it takes.
Satan's
Instead
powers.
of Harry can't do anything until he has a wand. Once he has a wand, he can do anything.
Okay.
That's not true. He can only do one spell. He's not a very good
This isn't
wizard
the Harry
when you
Potter
get down
episode.
to it.
We can do that.
Yeah, but when
We
you
can
get
do
down
the-
to it, Harry Potter's not a very good wizard. He
we-
gets really lucky a lot of the time.
we can-
Hermione does all the heavy lifting.
That's true,
Fight
she
the
does.
patriarchy.
God
Yeah.
damn.
Anyway, can we all just breathe for a second?
Yeah.
What do you guys really feel about this movie?
No, I like this movie.
I liked it.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I
I think
thought it was
A24 does a phenomenal job with horror.
Very.
Go.
I wasn't as scared or unsettled as I thought I would be, but I still really
me
I
too.
loved it.
I honestly, spoilers, I didn't think we were going to get a child murder in the first 20 minutes
I
of the
loved
movie.
that about it. I was
Yeah,
just telling my wife.
And that scene itself was
Yeah.
like one of the ballsiest scenes.
like-
You just follow Kidnap Wolf,
Yeah.
drive home, and you're just waiting for the cut to like the funeral or something. You never get that cut. He just goes home and goes to sleep.
Yeah,
and then you have to hear his mom wake up.
and it
So
doesn't cut
fascinating.
away from him the entire time.
just
like ballsy filmmaking right there.
so many times you see like a terrible thing happen on the news or something, and you think like,
Yeah.
oh my god, what if I were in that situation? And it would probably be very similar. Like I would just wish so badly it didn't happen, and I would
Yeah.
just fucking ignore it,
And what's
knowing that it happened.
the way the movie was being spun of like you don't know what's real and what's not up to that point. I honestly thought like because Peter got he smoked that jazz cabbage at the party, I thought he like was just really stoned and it was like a hallucination that something terrible happened, and then when it was not that, I was like, oh no, I don't know what I'm gonna expect anymore.
Yeah, and at that point, you don't know what the movie's going to give you.
And I think overall that's where like A24 excels. It's like you really fully know what's real and what's not as their movies progress up until like the last 30 minutes.
I agree.
I feel like we all are just so uncomfortable thinking
I
about
also,
this movie now.
This movie, had it been in somebody else's hands and somebody else with different aesthetics, it
Eli
could have
Roth.
been it could have been very gory and just gratuitously so.
Yeah.
And this movie, outside, there's a very quick shot of Girl Satan's head, and then there's a
Covered in ants.
there's a dark shot of
Collette.
Toni Collette using the piano wire to cut her head off. And outside those two scenes, it's not really that gory.
Yeah.
And it relies heavily on atmosphere and feeling and like the house itself. And actually,
a couple different shots, and it'd be rated R for some fucks and some penises.
little side trivia is they built that house from scratch.
Wow.
Because they wanted the house to have a dollhouse like quality, but all the ones they found were too small, so they needed one big enough to have that quality but be able to fit an entire crew in it. So they built the house from scratch.
Which is awesome because they have so many shots of like Toni Collette doing the miniatures of the house, and it saying that makes a ton of sense.
And Andowd, I mean, coming in again, stealing the show, being who you think is going to be a nice lady, and just turns out
Never thought that for a second.
turns out going to Disneyland.
I've seen Rosemary's Baby.
It turns out to go to Disneyland when her daughter's paralyzed in the hospital bed. That's who Andowd is.
Oh, she was in that, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No,
not gonna tell you what it was.
Not for a second did I ever think she was a good person in this movie. But that's okay. It doesn't matter. I didn't need that surprise. I knew that this was very much like Rosemary's Baby because it was following Rosemary's Baby. And that's a good thing. And it also, like we talked about, it has a different theme to present than that movie. So great.
And I love this movie. I think I only have like two really, really small complaints. I did not
enough tits.
Yeah. You know me, I love
But there
movie
were a
tits.
splash of demon tits, though.
I mean,
true.
I was
A lot of
okay seeing demon dick. I'm progressive.
Yeah.
It was Peter's fake cry. I thought was so
Horrible.
terrible. And
I was
then
okay
Everybody
with
was
it.
laughing in
and
the
then
theater.
yeah, and because it's just that
Well,
like
you were in a
for-
bad theater. I was in a
Terrible theater, but that made me.
it was a
cringe.
really bad cry. And then the shot of spoilers after Toni Collette decapitates herself and you see the body floating up into the treehouse, like that
That
just
looked pretty
seems
bad,
so
too.
campy
also
to
fine
me.
with that.
Outside of that, I thought it was a great movie. What would you guys rate it?
Hold on, I thought the
Okay,
ending, the ending could have been a little bit more ambiguous, which I think would have made a better movie. So after he jumps out of the window, he clicks his tongue.
Yeah.
Had they waited to have him click his tongue until he was in the treehouse? Because you get that shot of him looking nervous in the treehouse. So I think they're trying to like set up like, oh, did he get possessed or is it still him? But since he clicked, he's possessed. So what exactly are they trying to say with that nervous look?
But he still looked
Whereas-
very uncomfortable when he went into the treehouse and like they did the ceremony and crowned him.
Well,
Like,
that's what I'm saying. He looked very nervous. So had he clicked at the end, it would have been more ambiguous to whether or not he was actually possessed.
maybe his spirit is fighting the demon entity.
Maybe, but I think that's a bullshitty excuse for them
would've-
trying to have it both ways.
That would have annoyed me a lot though if the movie ended with just fade to black, a clicking sound,
so wait,
credits.
So you want a more concrete ending like they have it.
No, I want them probably more like The Witch, where it's a very
I feel like The Witch has a
incredibly
pretty
similar.
concrete ending.
It's a very similar ending to The Witch, but it's still. There's still some ambiguity and
So
there's still some personal.
You wanted more witch ending.
Agency.
You wanted more It Follows ending.
I don't remember It Follows because I hated it so much.
Because that was the kind of the ending where they like got rid of the demon, but then it's the couple walking, and then you see someone start following
Yeah.
them, and it's like, oh, did they really get rid of it?
Yeah, exactly. Like a more ambiguous ending, I think, would
Okay.
have been more
That makes-
effective.
that makes
for this
sense.
kind of movie.
Okay.
Because the whole movie itself is just like you don't really know what's real, what's in her head, what was
Zombie.
what was what had already been set up previously by the evil mother. So I would give this movie a 9 out of 10, and a bit of thunder.
I'm actually surprised with the way you talked about the movie. Well, okay.
I will give it a 9 also. It's very well done.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it 9. Middle thunder.
Yeah.
Like right in between. I think A24 does. I think
The Witch made me feel more
Yeah.
cold and alone. The Witch made me feel more helpless.
I'm gonna start a campaign to get a Sleepaway Camp remake done by A24 because I think that type of movie is perfect for what A24 does. Guys, go watch Sleepaway Camp. Where can we find us?
emd.pantsbetting.com.
Nowhere. I've
Facebook,
unplugged.
artificialwood@pantsbetting.com, probably Snapchat.
Took it down.
We're
It's
going to
gonna
be
be
at
Snapchat.
Sandemonium doing a live panel
In August, talking movies, watching trailers,
That's it.
just shitting on everything people love.
Go off the grid.
We love you guys. Thank you for supporting us and being our fans. Okay, bye.